Hello, hello, I'm Cade, and today I'd like to chat to you about the Reno music scene, the culture around it, and where it kind of stands right now as a whole. So I figured the best way to do this is to let you know a couple names that you should know, just getting an idea of the scene. One of the most popular probably being Charity Kiss. The kind of twangy, high desert indie sound. And then we got Worm Shot. They're a fun indie girl band. In the Works is Great Funky Fun. We also got stuff on the heavier side, like the band named Pissmixer. A friend of mine has a great shirt from them. It looks like a vase with a flower sticking out until you look at it really, really closely and realize the flower sticking out of a urethra. There's great bands and there's great scenes over here. Sometimes the scenes are kind of separate from each other. Sometimes they're kind of more integrated in between each other. But the venues are really what drives the Reno scene, I'd say. And if you're from here, you know, the obvious one is the Holland Project. They get talent from across the nation, really, and they play a great hand in the community as well as, you know, bringing talent from over here to bringing talent from here and then also bringing talent to here. But you also have other great venues. The Cypress being one. Fun bar. I went and saw cupcakKe live there.
Lick, 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 lick. I wanna eat your dick.
Midnight Coffee Roasting. They host a lot of heavy shows. But I'd say the heart of the Reno music scene is house venues. You go into a house show, it's just in somebody's backyard. Sometimes it's in somebody's cramped living room, and you're just shoulder to shoulder with Volk. So it's a really community oriented scene. I'd say something that, you know, other places have is they have, you know, structure where talent from all over the world, even like say Vegas, there are big names there from around the globe. I mean, you could go see the Blue Man Group to, I don't know, Pitbull, bro. But Reno, although we have the casinos, we don't really have it to that level. So these guys in these indie scenes are really kind of relying on the community to get these spots and kind of, you know, really fighting for these spots. Another thing on the community topic is that here compared to other places, I've been to, you know, local shows in Santa Cruz and such. It's such a respectful culture here. Like, if people are, you know, having fun and somebody falls down, it is immediate they get picked back up. I mean, it's just ingrained. One time at like a metal show, a kid ended up hitting the ground pretty hard and like split his head open. But, everybody got him some help. And then, later the show continued. And I ended up slipping on the wet floor that, the cleaning product that they cleaned up this kid's blood with. But I fell pretty hard, but immediately I got scooped back up. You really feel it. You feel like you're in a web. One time I was at a house venue for a punk show, and they was just grilling hot dogs, but when they handed you a hot dog, they also had a little thing of caviar, so you could scoop caviar and dump it on your hot dog. It was, I would have never put those two together. It was fire. If you ever get the chance, you should try it. But as for Reno, looking at Reno at a larger scale, the music scene, I think, really sets Reno into the West Coast culture, really. Like, these bands go and tour to other places like SAC and wherever, and then there's a clear, path to and from Reno, through NorCal, down to SoCal, and back up. And I think the music really connects us culturally. Something that's become kind of normalized for me growing up here is that like a 2-hour drive really doesn't mean that much to me. I mean, okay, so one time I happened to be in Portola for an event, and I was talking to somebody from Vegas, someone who had flown there, flown to Reno and then drove to Portola. I had mentioned that, just the other day I had been at a lake near there, and he kind of stopped me and he was like, "Oh, are you from here? Like, was I from Portola?" And made me realize that to him, somebody, living in Vegas, a big metropolitan area, like, why would anyone go and just like, it's not something that's ingrained in the culture there to go drive 2 hours out for a show or a piece of wildlife. I mean, they have beautiful hikes and stuff out there, but it's just not something that's normalized. Everything you need is right there in the city or your suburban neighborhood. So I think Reno really embraces that when we bring bands from SAC or anywhere, and we all understand that it's a big interconnected web, and by knowing that, you can kind of take some pride in that. I mean, some of the best bands ever, like, bro, Deftones came out of SAC, like, and it's all connected. I think why the scene here kind of thrives is because of that community. If you fall, somebody's going to pick you up, or, like weird, like, hospitality acts like the caviar hot dogs thing. But it's also just very comforting to know that Reno is a part of a larger picture.